the a-hole for accidentally going to my ex's wedding. How does one accidentally go to your ex's wedding?
For revenge.
Ora! I, 35 female, should start by acknowledging that 10 years ago, I was a huge a-hole. I'm glad you can admit it, babes. It's good to admit these things, you know? By the way, I used to be a doesn't make it better, but it's good that you know that. I had a drinking problem and treated the folks around me terribly, including my ex-boyfriend. I'm sober 4 years now, working my program, trying to put better things into the universe. I recently started my first relationship while sober, and things are going well. We're about 3 months in. He, 35 male, knows I'm in recovery and that I had a lot of folks to make amends to in my life. A couple weeks ago, we took a small step into being more serious when he invited me to a college friend's wedding, where I would get to meet a lot of the folks he went to school with. His friend was the bride. The day of the wedding, we were getting ready at his apartment, and I saw in the invite that the groom's name was pretty similar to my ex's. I didn't put the pieces together because my ex has an extremely common name, and think Bob Smith or Steve Jones level common. The invite used a variation of the first name that is not what he went by when we were together. I also thought my ex had moved across the country after things ended between us. Okay. We showed up at the church and sat with my boyfriend's friends on the bride's side. We had arrived before most people settled into their seats, and I didn't see anyone I recognized at the time. So I relaxed and I chatted with the folks near us. When I heard the music for the ceremony starting, I looked forward and saw the groom was my ex, and it was too late to leave quietly. Oh no. Oh, that is so awkward. I honestly probably would have ducked and like crawled on the floor. I put my head down and tried to be as non-conspicuous as possible, but he definitely saw me because he turned as white as a ghost. Brother, oh dear. Oh dear. Imagine you're the groom and you see that, you probably think that she showed up to ruin your wedding. I told my boyfriend the 30-second version of what happened, and he agreed that we would skip the reception. When the ceremony ended, we tried to exit quietly, but my ex saw me on the way out of the church and got super angry. Called me all sorts of names, and I said I ruined his wedding by being there. Ooh, okay, all right. I mean, you didn't know, so it's good that you admitted that you were an a-hole, because this makes a lot of sense. I do feel like there maybe should have been some sort of communication. Like, you say that you're apologizing to people that you hurt in the past. There probably should have been some sort of communication since then, but I digress. The bride was silently shooting daggers next to him the whole time. I just kept apologizing and saying it was a mistake, but I've spent the last weeks agonizing over whether I should have been more careful or double-checked before just showing up. I guess you could have in hindsight, but that's a really freaky coincidence. Like, at the end of the day, it is a coincidence. I don't know. I'm also trying to figure out if I should send a gift or a card or something apologizing again and explaining what happened. Before realizing the groom was my ex, I contributed to the gift my boyfriend was giving, but didn't send anything separately. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. This is a toughie. Thank you to everyone who commented, especially those who shared advice. I don't want to re-traumatize my ex, and many of the comments made me realize apologizing directly could do that. Okay, all right. I mean, we don't know what happened in your relationship, so I'm not sure how it could re-traumatize him, but if you're saying it could, then I believe you. It would be more for my benefit than for his. That's a good point. Sometimes I feel like we apologize literally just because we feel guilty, not because we're actually sorry. Not the a-hole. I mean, you didn't intentionally go to his wedding. Also, it was 10 years ago. Why is this guy ruining his own wedding for it? He could have just ignored you and let you leave. That is a good point. It was 10 years ago, but it also depends on like what happened in their relationship. Like, if it really was as bad as she says it was, then like, you know, maybe he has a right to be mad. We don't know the extent of it. If she traumatized him, it doesn't work like that. I've dated an alcoholic, and if I saw him again after the things he'd done, I couldn't promise I would be rational on a highly emotional day. There you go. If I saw my abusive, toxic ex at my wedding even 10 years later, I would be pissed, horrified, worried they'd attended on purpose to F with me. It would definitely throw me off and put me in a bad place for what was supposed to be a happy occasion. It was an accident, but we also have to come to terms with the fact that when we hurt people, there are consequences, even 10 years later. You're not an asshole in this instance, but you were an asshole back in the day.